Ya right, you hooligans. You know how we start this whole thing. Roll call.
Ryan?
Isle.
Mikey.
And Steven. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. At a little bit later, it was your DM's 30th birthday this last week. And we went out last night, and I need an extra time to recover from it because we had a very good time. So, thanks for being here on the later one, and for joining us for episode 26 of our Misty Fortune Absent Hearts campaign, when we last left our favorites misplaced adventurers from the Forgotten Realms. An end to a night of horror. Having successfully defeated Lady Fedatov in her family crypts, and choosing not to take the cursed treasure with them, the party left the family crypt, sealing it behind them, taking with them the one and only known key to access the vast wealth still kept within. Using Alder's keen mind and returning back from the hedge maze, the party spent the night in what remains of the Fedatov family manor, keeping, of course, Luca close and resting, where I believe after a night of rest, Jove hits level 6. So now we have our party members, Virgil at level 7, and Jove and Alder at level 6, as we head into the second tier of adventuring, and the power spike grows ever stronger. Having survived the night, and putting an end to the horror that was happening in the Fedatov family manor, the party decided to return back to Orsnu, relay what news they could of the evening, and return Luca to at least his current home, seeing that there was nothing left for the young man at the Fedatov family manor. However, as the party ventured in the early morning heading back to Orsnu, I believe it was Jove who spotted a number of footprints heading off the path, a number of human footprints being followed by large troll footprints following close behind. As the early morning turned into midday, storm clouds gathered, rain and thunder began to fall upon the party, in a horrifying sight of two young lovers from the village of Orsnu, murdered in front of a statue depicting a hooded man with strange serpents twisting and wrapping around their form, seeming to emanate from below their robes. The party was besieged by a set of trolls, who strangely had almost necromantic runes inscribed to one of their pairs of golden teeth. One that Alder was able to discern not only its necromantic heritage, but hasn't seen anything so similar in quite some time. Oh, that's not what we want there. Switch that through. However, upon investigating the bodies and learning that the two young Orsnu couple was Benedict and Sari, the young lovers from Orsnu that had invited the party to their soon penultimate wedding coming up. I'm not sure if I phrased that one correctly, but regardless. Finding their bodies and seeing both of them stabbed literally in the back on their way to finish preparing for their wedding, the ghost of Sari appeared. Confused, lost, and not the first ghost that the party has come in contact with. Sari pleaded with the party to continue forward, to find Benedict's brother Reginald, and a strange visitor, someone who had been lurking on the outsides of town, who had wormed their way into Orsnu under the radar, a direct opposite play from our party, who has made a huge impact on the village, and their presence is known wherever they go. This visitor, however, cloaked in robes of purple, warm smile and charisma, wormed their way into Orsnu, and for purposes unknown to the party, seems to be working on a plot behind the scenes. And the next step involved, seemingly, the deaths of the young lovers of Orsnu. Alder, with a incredible 22 in insight, recognized the trappings of Aware of Purple, a member of the Cult of the Dragon, and the enemies of not only Lost and Found, but of all of the Forgotten Realms, as they are the ones behind the eventual taking of Flan and uplifting Vorgan Shorex to his now almost king-like status over the northern part of the Moon Sea. The party, following Sari's words, noticing a pair of fine gloves that seem to be missing from her person but are now attached to her spiritual form, the words of Jenny Greenteeth's warning or perhaps vision still ringing in the party's ear upon seeing said gloves. And a third visitor, a strange spirit, unseen and unheard, but following the party, seemingly obsessed with gloves in their own way, having now followed the party for a number of days since they left Orsnu, with Virgil finally being able in the earlier morning to confirm that such a force was following the party. Perhaps stalking, perhaps aiding, perhaps just watching, but a third passenger nonetheless. Sari, too, senses this powerful, confused, and seemingly angry spirit that has latched itself onto the party. However, with their sense of perhaps duty, justice, care for the people of Orsnu, and prodding by Sari, the party continued on further, trying to find the perpetrators of the murder of the young lovers of Orsnu, heading deeper into an area known as the Glumpen Swamp, a dark, twisted, and deadly area of the Svalich Woods. Huge bodies of still bog water, the fresh smell of rot and decay, and Joe following the smell of rosemary, a peculiar and very necromantic type of smell, leading him deeper into the Glumpen Swamps. There they found a young Bogorov Vistani, Somyag, who, thanks to the party's use of strength and magic, was freed from a sunken Vardo, having peeled off from his tribe, his family units, and sinking into the bog. Somyag was happy to not only recognize the party, specifically Annika's chosen flame for the time being, and having been rescued, gifted the party with some information about a young man and a charismatic traveler who had just passed through not a day earlier, who had seemed peculiar to the young Vistani man. However, not enough to cause him any sort of danger, the bog itself being the salient threat to the lone Vistani. However, after being freed, he gifted the party a beautiful pair, or a beautiful set of playing cards of lacquered wood with platinum, gold, and silver interwoven into the cards and the box itself, as a form of thanks for what few possessions Somyag still has on him now that his Vordo is at the bottom of this bog. The time, Alder, I'll say with your keen mind, you would say it's probably just a bit after high noon, probably getting closer to 1. You'd spent probably about 2 hours or so before going off the path to follow what you now know are Benedict and Sari's tracks. You know that it's another, from where you left the path, probably about 2 or 3 hours left to get back to Orsnu, and you've now probably been traveling another 2 hours in the opposite direction. Should you choose to head back to Orsnu, you won't be able to return back until seemingly late, or continue pushing forward into the swamp as the afternoon arrives. We return back to the party, finishing up a short rest in the company of Somyog, sharing rations, perhaps playing a few card games, and of course with the illuminated red bloody footprints of Sari trailing off deeper into the Glumpen swamp. We turn back to you now, party, as you decide where to head to next in our module, The Innocent.
Just for record keeping, I used 3 hit dice to get myself back up to full.
Heard.
Also for record keeping, I thought I heard it last week, and I definitely heard it this week. Virtual's not level 7. I'm not even halfway to level 7.
I thought you were level 7.
Oh no.
Well, then my bad. I misspoke. So everybody's level 6?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well. Easy fix.
Do we want to actually put spells into this ring? Now that I'm thinking about it.
I think that would be a good idea. And remind me, do I actually have to use the spell slots to put them in, or is it just I need time to just focus on it? And then
You will have to spend the spell slots to load them in them.
Yeah. You cast a spell and you channel the energy into the ring.
Okay. Well, I can give you a little bit to spare here, especially if we're heading back towards perhaps Orsnew. Might get some rest afterwards. So, anything in particular you want to learn, Virgil, or have on hand? I mean, you've seen a little bit of what I can do. Anything catch your eye?
I mean, haste was nice.
Well, someone like you moving fast is never a bad thing. I could certainly give you another charge of that. Might be able to fit a couple other things on there too. Again, if you have something in mind. Otherwise, I'll just make a decision myself. So I believe we can have
The only
up
thing
to
I can...
5, right?
Yeah, I think that's right. I think
Or like 5th level equivalent, but yeah.
the only thing the Virgil would really think of is just haste and 2 shields, but
Well, never hurts on that one. I will suggest, I think I did it before, but I'm gonna say let's give you haste, certainly give you shield, give you a little something to protect you from everything out here. We're coming across a whole lot of celestials and creatures and whatnot, you know. And he will give you protection from good and evil as well. So those are your 3.
okay.
Unless you truly want the 2 shields, in which case you can have 2 shields.
Okay.
Alright. So I will mark a 3rd and 2 first level spell slots spent. Although I do get one of those back thanks to my arcane recovery, as well as a 2nd level slot. Thank you, wizard.
And your warlock slot too, right?
You best believe I got that spell slot back.
Nasty.
So yeah, I've used 1 spell each in 1st and 2nd and 3rd level, but we got 4 spell levels worth of stuff back in that. So it's very nice, you know. Warlock and wizard pairs a little bit better than I thought.
Well, we've already traipsed out here. A little worried about the trail going cold if we went back to Orsnew. Feeling fresh enough. It might be best just to continue on, not lose whatever we're gonna see out here in these swamps.
Well, I mean, I could continue going forward. Luca, you're just gonna have to keep remembering our word.
Luca looks to you with his seemingly endless supply of raw potatoes tucked away into his cap. He nods at you as I'll say that Somyog and Luca have been doing the most playing with the cards. Luca finds them extremely fascinating, and Somyog loves a fresh audience. So he nods at you and continues eating his potato and playing cards with Somyog.
Well, then we push on. You know my motto: whatever gets us home fastest. And if this is gonna help us move that forward, then that's what my vote's on.
Yeah, just hopefully Orsnir doesn't think we died and everything that happened over at the manor, but well, can't let the trail go cold.
I mean, what are they gonna do any different?
You know, they might suspect us.
I feel like half the time they already act as if we are dead.
Yeah, a bit of a point.
No matter what we do, we can't convince them that we're not just dead men walking. It's like, guys, we can hold our own. They're like, yeah, but that's a scary wolf.
Well, for the average man, it probably is a scare wolf, but yeah. All right, you convinced me. Let's keep them on moving.
Excellent. You gather up your belongings. Selmiog, of course, waves you all goodbye before he starts kind of prepping for an evening out here and getting his kind of sight set up. You see him climb up into a tree and remove himself from the bog's floor. And set up his own kind of like hammock and campsites as he prepares, wishing all well, leaving the cards, of course, in your possession as you head deeper into the Glumpen Swamp. Go ahead, I need Jove. Go ahead and give me a survival check. With advantage, since you have Sari's bloody footprints to lead your way.
Ooh, that is a nat 20 for 23.
It is very easy between Sari's footprints, your own keen senses, and just how little humanoid tracks there are. It is very easy to follow what must be Reginald in the visitors' tracks through the Glumpen Swamp. As you follow for probably the better part of an hour or so, you start to get this strong, acrid smell, Jove. It's almost got like fumes to it. For us, it'd be like smelling like diesel almost. Jove, you're the first to notice, then Virgil, then Older, until it is undeniable. You start to hear a bubbling noise up ahead. And as you crest kind of around this large tree, Jove, you see a large pool of thick, bubbling liquid and twisted, blackened trees surrounding the skull of an enormous horned beast. Half of its elongated skull rises out of the bubbling liquid, two 15-foot-long horns rising up into the sky. Each of the two horns is capped in a large golden ring, with writing that, Jove, for you, you would recognize it as likely draconic, although you do not know how to read it. You can recognize it from kind of your memories with Aquila. You're not sure what it says, but clearly it appears to be draconic around these golden rings. You can see numerous white bones of this creature piercing out of the bubbling liquid. Everybody go ahead and roll me a nature check.
Six.
16.
For nature, that's 14.
14. I'll say even with the 6, it's very clearly draconic in origins. But I'll say with my 14 and my 16, it appears to be the now tarred and slightly bleached bones of a ancient red dragon.
Oh, good lord, that's a that's one of the biggest dragons you'd ever seen in your damn life. If that thing was still flying around.
Well, that's, I think, about as good of a warning sign you'll ever see for not going inside whatever that liquid is.
No kidding. Speaking of which, I've had a hunch and thinking on it. Given what we know, the robe figure, the purple coloring, the ties, the acid, I've got a hunch that we might even be dealing with the cult of the dragon here right now. Don't know if well, Virgil, you've briefly dealt with him. I don't know how much you've dealt with him at all, Jove, or your experience with cultists, but no, gross group to say the least. Pretty damn pesky too. And if they're crossing on over, we got a chance of actual dragons crossing over too. So keep your wits about you on that one. Just a hunch, but it's been on my mind.
If things are crossing over, maybe they can cross back, so could be good news in there.
Well, if they know anything, I'd sure be happy to find out. Just don't think they're gonna be the talking sort by any means.
Not that I'd like to talk to those fuckers either.
I suppose they wouldn't recognize me anymore, though. That might help.
What's everyone's passive perception as you guys are having this conversation?
14.
12.
13 for sight, but 18 for smell and hearing.
Jove. There is this overpowering, acrid smell of this bubbling tar pit. But something else itches underneath. It almost feels like an allergy attack is going over your body. You feel something nearby. And it's this kind of burning, itching sensation that starts to go into your nose. Virgil, with your 14, you notice that there seems to be a ring around this tar pit of what appears to be silver. And as you kind of scan with your passive perception, of course with the shield as well, you can see that there appears to be a silver ring around this tar pit.
Now, why would there be a silver ring?
What now?
Look with your little man eyes.
It's half
Silver.
thank you very much.
Yeah,
And,
little.
all right there, cowboy.
That's funny. -1.
I get the -1.
Yes, absolutely. For calling the Minotaur a cowboy, you get -1. But yes, Jove,
Well,
as you
Yeah, mine
as
wasn't fun. Mine
as
was just racist.
just racist.
gotta have our priorities here. Yes, Jove, as pointed out by Virgil, you do see that silver all the way around. Of course, Alder, you as well. Alder, go ahead and, as you see it, this circle of silver around, give me an Arcana check. Jove, give me a Constitution saving throw.
Arcana, that's 13.
13, gotcha. And Jove?
On save is a 15.
15? Yeah, you can tell that this circle is likely between some of the storm, that there's probably silver in the air, which is starting to kind of have an effect on you, Job. You're able to power through it, but you know if you got a face full of that silver, it would be a bad time for you, to say the least. But you're able to, do a snot rocket, get that silver out of your nose, and maintain yourself. Alder, you said a 13 in Arcana?
Yes.
Beautiful. Um, this is clearly a material component for a gigantic circle of protection from good and evil. In fact, it seems incomplete. You're not sure why someone would do it at such a scale as this, but it completely encircles the pit. And maybe with a little tinkering from your wizardly studies, you might be able to complete this circle protection of good and evil. I mean, the amount of silver it took to make this ring is... Gosh, I mean, how big is this? Hold on, let me give you a better estimate on...
Yeah, like how much silver would I have to use?
That would be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70. So all the way around, it's about 200 feet. The skull of this dragon is clearly the better part of like 20 feet long. The amount of silver it would take to do this would be excessive. Like where you would find enough powdered silver to get all the way around this circle, especially out here. If you were in, Mole Master or Waterdeep or, even Mantor's Library, you could probably pull this off, or at the very least use your own silver pieces and have them ground up. But this far out here in a swamp in Barovia, that doesn't have any seemingly large collectives of wizards, or at least none that you've run into yet, you're thinking, for that much silver, 1,000, like the equivalent of like 1,000 gold pieces worth, an insane amount of silver.
Guys, this is... Well, first off, whoever was putting the silver down was casting a spell. Protection of good and evil by the looks of it, and on the biggest scale you could think of. I mean, the cost to even get this amount of silver, I don't even know how you do it. I mean, this was a dedicated ritual. Incomplete, but pretty damn close.
I'm less concerned about who and more concerned about why.
Well, I am
Big
too.
dragon is probably a good indicator of that. I'm not sure if that spell works against dragons though.
I was gonna say I've felt it on me, and I mean
Well,
I don't cast it, but I don't know if dragon's considered good or evil.
well, if it's undead, it would work against it. That's the first thought that pops into my head. I might even be able to finish the circle too.
Oh, it's
Gonna
just
take
a
some
dragon.
finagling.
Oh, no big deal. Whatever. Yeah, I mean, if you don't want to spend too many spell slots on it. I could even use the
Oh,
cast that I have stored in my ring.
oh, that's just for you. This is a big, big spell. I mean, this might take up a whole area.
I'm just saying I have it.
And you keep it. You keep
Listen,
it
I
on your
don't get to say I have spells very often.
I understand. I understand. And that's what I'm saying. We might have a free cast of it right here. So don't spend
Okay.
what you don't have to. Well, you guys want, I could try and finish it. See what happens. I'd be lying if I said there wasn't a little bit of curiosity. Even
And it
though the
certainly couldn't be a
situation could
trap.
be dire. Might be. Besides, if this thing is about to come alive, maybe it is for the best to turn it on.
I'm going to
But where
do
would the
a
people
very
even go?
studied stare around the area to see if this is like a trap that someone set up so that like when a spellcaster came along and tries to finish the ritual, they get pounced on while they're trying to focus and concentrate.
Yeah, go ahead. Insight or perception, choice is yours.
Well, they're both -1, but I do have advantage on perception. Nice. And a crit fail, nice. So passive 14.
Passive 14. Looking around, you can see the immediate dangers is there's a couple smaller pits of tar that one could, if not paying attention, could easily fall into. But you're looking for traps, something to catch a soft, squishy wizard by surprise. You scan, give a hard look around, check the surrounding blackened, twisted trees to see if maybe trolls or something else is going to try to sneak up. Something's lying in wait, but the coast looks clear. What really starts to unnerve you is the bubbling in the pit is starting to pick up. While there was occasional couple gurgles. It's like if this was a jacuzzi, it's like somebody just turned on some of the jets. Not all of them. It's not like geysing out there, but you do see, especially as older, you're getting kind of closer and looking at where you need to adjust some of this circle. It almost seems more agitated.
Yeah, the second that he notices the faster bubbling, I say we stop wondering about traps and start finishing it. I don't think we have much time for whatever's coming out of those bubbles.
Yeah.
I'm going as fast as I can. Oh,
Alder, give me a to finish another. This typically would be an Arcana. Yeah, go ahead and give me an Arcana check on this one.
okay.
To finish the large circle.
It's a 15.
A 15. 15 meets beats. Fantastic.
Nice.
Alder, you go around the circle in kind of a faster pace with the prodding of your companion. You find places where the silver circle has broken. You add some of your own sigils and glyphs. You take your knowledge from your own working of the spell. Add some of that higher level wizardry that you don't have access to here. That keen mind of yours. Remembering what used to be in your spell book. Some of the higher level spells, the big circles, the more treating this more like a ritual than a instant cast. It's well, quite frankly, you're in your element right now, Alder. It is simply the power of your mind fixing someone else's interesting work, albeit you wouldn't say that it's clean work. It's sloppy, unfinished in places, good ideas, but lacks the true wizardly skill to pull it off. And as you put the last kind of finishing touches on it. You move the last bit of silver into place. There is a flash of muted, pale white light. And as it finishes, you see a blackened, skeletal hand reach out through the bubbling tar, right where your hands had just finished touching the silver alder. And as it reaches out to grab onto you, it is pushed back into the tar. And you can see as that magic circle of protection against good and evil ritualizes in this space, you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sets of blackened, twisted, tar-covered humanoids. Their bodies burning and smoking, what remains of what little organic material is left on their frames. They wipe the muck from their eyes. They try to push in. They start to almost coalesce as if their bodies stick to one another, becoming this mass of burning tar-covered limbs as they push against the magic circle. But your magic holds, and they are pushed back into the tar. And after a moment, they sink back lower, their eyes like crocodiles peering right above the tar, watching the three of you. Waiting.
Well, I don't know about you gentlemen, but I don't want to wait around and see if the spell wears off at any time. Glad we came across him when we did is all. Phew.
Yeah, good quick work on that, Alder.
Took a little bit of pride for Virgil, but got it done. Jeez, I don't... Dragon of that size? Yeah, it'd be over. I don't think I could come back another time. Huh. Near-death experiences aside, please lead the way, Joe.
Does the trail continue on?
It does indeed. Go ahead and give me that survival check with advantage.
It is a 19 survival.
A 19 survival. Indeed. Leaving behind the dragon's skull, the 2 large golden rings still capped on each of its horns, the twisted, tar-covered undead that lurk beneath the tar pit, waiting for whenever this spell comes to an end, for whoever is foolish enough to try to enter that area, fades to view as you continue farther and farther into the Clumpin' Swamp. Low rumbles and gurgles of bubbling bogs, insects that scuttle, less of a buzzing noise and more of the sounds of numerous small, sharp limbs tapping against twisted and overgrown plant life. The sky grows ever darker. And as you follow these footprints, Jove, you see a gnarled tree sitting atop a hill that rises above the swampland around it. With your keen senses, you begin to smell the very faint odors of an old campfire. It appears to be a solid place for someone to set up camp and to get a good view of some of the surrounding swampland. And mixed into all of it, that sickly rosemary smell that has been guiding your path.
Jove will kind of raise up a hand to his adventuring buddies and kind of put a finger to his lips and in hushed tones say, picking up signs of perhaps a camp further up. Maybe we should be a little stealthy about this and see if we can make an approach and see what's happening. We already know that we see somebody in purple. You're up's no good.
Yeah, I can't even imagine most things other than a Bogorov that we see around here is going to be up to no good, but I agree. Too many signs pointing to that purple individual. I'll stay hush, but ready to light something up.
Always are.
I am made of fire, though, but
All right, party. Everybody go ahead and give me stealth checks. And I'll roll for Luca. Damn, Luca.
Disadvantage.
Luca rolled a natural 19.
ooh, okay, Luke.
Oh, my first one's so good though.
Which he gets a 0 to stealth, so that's almost about as good as it's ever gonna get.
Hey,
Yeah,
Done did it
disadvantage might
again,
work on me
boys.
good, but-
a
I got a
two?
disadvantage on stealth and got 2 nat 20s back to back.
How? You want to share?
He's
some of
built
those?
different. He's just built different.
Fucking different. I was
Dude.
gonna make a joke because it was like, oh, Job is like, let's be stealthy, and he's gonna be trunching around making all this noise.
All right, Timothy Chalamet, chill out.
At least without Gabe.
Alright, I remember I've got a 9.
As it was written.
Yeah.
I got a 19. Only a 19.
All right, a 19. So 19, 19, natural 20, 9. Party, you slink through the overgrown trees. Hop from patch to patch, avoiding some of the bugs. Jove, spending more and more time into those wilderness as the full moon grows ever closer. This reminds you much of the flooded forest, of the many nights that you spent with Aquila, just exploring, being away from Mole Master. And you can't help but find the same trappings there that you do here. It's almost crazy how stealthily Jove disappears into the bush if it wasn't for the massive body of Luca and the lithe body of Alder just falling behind you by just a pace. Virgil, however, finds a special little spot in the bog that drops his whole foot into it, coming up to the knee with a strong and it's like that singular like ripples out. And Jove, as you make it to the camp, you hear Virgil behind you lower down the hill. You feel that creep into you, and you look towards the campsite knowing that your position has likely been exposed. However, the campsite is seemingly deserted, and there is no one waiting for you at the top. Instead, you see an old campfire, probably less than a day old, and the signs of someone eating and sleeping here. And as you look around, you do get a nice view of kind of the surrounding swamplands. And once more, out against the mountain range, now that you are above the swamp, you can see the ever-present castle Ravenloft. Its dark spires. even darker than the clouds that hang in the sky above, looming over this territory. The rest of you, especially Virgil, after pulling your leg out of the bog, continue up, and you see Job is taking kind of a look around. In fact, Joe, give me an investigation check.
That's 13.
13? Definitely two people were here less than a day ago. You can see that somebody cooked a very meager looking rabbit at one point. However, what you do notice, which is odd, is through all the signs, you can see that the animal was eaten, the bones were all discarded in one spot. You see a place where one person appears to have slept. It's weird because you're following what should be two people, but it's like there's only signs of one person here. Only one place where bones have been discarded. Only one place set up for sleeping. That old ranger in you, the caravan guard, knows that it almost seems like one of them doesn't sleep, doesn't eat. You're missing the extra signs of a two-person camp. It's like a one-person camp in here, but you're chasing at least two people. And right near a recently dug pit toilets, you do see a crumpled up scrap of parchment. The smell of recently used ink emanates from it.
You pick it up if you can.
Yeah, you absolutely do. And let me give you this. Let me give you a little bit of the lore. Switch over to our lower side. Post this bad boy up. In a bad handwriting, to say the least, a scrawl almost, you see a almost shakily written note, a journal of sorts. It reads, "I still look at my hands and see the blood on them. The visitor's words still echo in my mind. He said it himself. She was a wicked person, and Benedict was too stupid and lovesick to see it. Watching them together every day made it worse. I tried to warn him. He wouldn't have it. The only way to show him is to take them from one another forever. I didn't do it because of petty jealousy. I did it because they deserved it. Love puts out our eyes and makes us blind. I opened their eyes. I will never be free of this. I must be free of this."
We'll take the parchment back over to the rest of the crew and say, looks like we just missed them, or whoever it might be, but I did find on this, and they'll hand over the parchment for them to read. Sounds like whoever knifed that poor woman is being manipulated by this visitor. Don't know exactly what it is, but at least some indication that whoever we're looking for is maybe being used here.
Well, if it's a cult we're dealing with, that's certainly no surprise on that one. Preying on weaknesses, superstitions, and the like. Looks like we're dealing with kind of a disturbed individual here, though, to say the least.
And potentially a undead puppet master of sorts. All I'm seeing here is remnants of a camp for one, but we know that we're looking for two. So either this purple cloaked fella is ethereal or does not have the same needs as the living.
Could he be an elf and instead of staying in the camp decides to keep watch outside?
It's not
Could, but they're
impossible.
Joe, give me an investigation check real quick.
that is a 10.
Looking around, checking to see if there's signs of maybe sentry post or other signs that maybe they just stayed out of camp. You look around, you see the pit toilets that was dug out, but besides that, you see the set of tracks that led you here, and you see the next set of tracks leading away. Definitely two people, but no other signs of setting up, or you even look up into the tree, you know, 'cause elves and their trees. And no broken branches showing someone climbing. Seems clear.
I mean, there's always the potential for it, but everything I'm seeing here doesn't look like elven sentry posts or anything like that. And yeah, it looks like a camp for one. So
Now, I will point out that both times that Dom pointed out that this was made for one person, he did mention that you also noticed the poop pit that was dug out. And some D&D parties would cling on to that and insist that the second person is a poop monster. I just wanted to
feel like could
Oh, the DM seems to keep bringing up this poop pit.
Is it a poop slime? Oh.
I'm not saying we have to be that party. I'm just saying certain parties would
You
make
can hear
this
Dom
clear.
struggling over this poop ball. Yes.
Y'all making me shuck my teeth so hard right now. There are moments like these where I'm glad you guys can't see my facial expressions.
Not the poop.
not the poop shoot pooper.
The poop
No.
shooting pooper.
This might be our most dangerous case yet, guys.
Oh my sweet Murphy.
I don't know.
Why is it everything with you, Mikey, eventually turns back to the poop?
Hey, it's your campaign. You wrote it.
But I didn't write it. Someone else writes this. I'm just like, someone gave me the script. I'm just directing it.
It's true.
Someone else is obsessed with poop.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess someone over there is into the poop. The first one was me.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm like, that one is you.
All right, I guess it was us because I think it was I pooped my pants when the show got.
Yes, when Joe took a Behir lightning bolt straight to the back.
Yeah.
And then yes, it was because the Behirs do have a fear effect. I think you rolled a crit fail on saving against fear. Yes, that is exactly what happened. And then I think I had you roll. Because you tried to play it off to Thrundrazi. That's who I was thinking of, Thrundrazi from last session.
And I did something like critical that.
Yes, then you went to the exact opposite and did like a nat 20 on a persuasion or a performance. And it's like, and at the time you're like, does a 26 help? And I'm like, yeah, that'll do. That's a pretty good one. From what level character are you? Oh, level 1? Yeah, that'll do. That'll do.
Cool.
Bards. But yes, looking, returning back, poop shoot pit aside. Job, you do not see any other indications of another sleeping area, eating area, or other signs of used camp.
The poop shoot aside.
Yeah.
Just not even think about it anymore. I see that. I see you.
Do with this information what you will, Job.
I mean, any insight into our foe is always good. Like you said, Alder, it sounds like one of these individuals is probably disturbed and vulnerable at some capacity. And if this other is indeed undead, well, we have tools that can help against that, or protections and whatnot. So more information's not bad. Wish we could have snuck up on him here, but the trail is still hot. I see the footprints leading out of here.
Well, we probably took a break around the same time they did, but it's all good. Got what we needed out of it. If you got the path, then follow you nice and steady, and I assume stealthy from here on out too.
Might not hurt.
That. Joe, go ahead and give me that survival check with advantage.
Nice. That is a 22.
22.
Pulling hot tonight.
Yeah, apparently so. You continue following the steps. If everyone remembers the episode from Season 2 of Avatar The Last Airbender, The Swamp, it's very much starting to become more like that, where the roots are becoming the size of trees, although they are all darkened, almost blackened, as if each one is filled to the brink with the muck, the rot. It's weird, there's so much seemingly life here, yet it feels so dead all at the same time. Instead of the thin, spindly, bone-like branches here, everything hangs and sloughs. Pieces that seem solid are fragile and thin, dipping your boots into the bog. Places that look thin and fragile are hard as stone. It is a strange place. And just like the gang from Avatar with their strange visions, you also begin seeing visions. Some familiar. You see Sari, wound going from her back out to the front, the blood dripping down her floral patterned dress, and the red footsteps leading you deeper into the swamp. Jove, you see old enemies from time to time. Hobgoblins. The ones that put you in a cage once. Peek out from the shadows. As you blink and look through, disappear. You inhale and try to sniff out these old enemies, but only the bog, the rot, and the rosemary meet your nose. Virgil, as the mists begin to creep towards the edges of your vision, you see raven after raven after raven. Like insects in a swarm. They cling to the surfaces, watching you from blackened eyes. Yet your party members seem to not notice them. You feel a strong, heavy hand grip your elbow. And Luca looks to you and you're not sure what he sees, but you can see the fear starting to build up in him. Friend?
Yeah, what do you see?
I see I see all the sheep from back home. But 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 but, but they have Father's face. They're calling. Do you see them?
I don't, buddy. Why don't you just cover your eyes and hold on to my belt here, and just follow, because I think that there's some weird things in the air here.
Oh, okay.
But just think about the fact that sheep don't live in bogs, so those sheep, they can't be here.
Sheep don't live in bogs. Sheep don't live in bogs. And you feel him grip onto your belt and shut his eyes. It's gonna make going a little bit slower, but you should be able to avoid the worst of these visions. Alder, as the mists grow closer around you, you see green light, green fire, off in the distance. A cackling emanates through parts of the swamp. You feel a very unique sense of fear. For within you, on you, your amber ring grows tight and cold. And you feel that limitless heat just outside the outskirts of your visions, hidden behind the mists, just out of reach but ever present. You feel this strange tug on your person. Like two entities trying to smother you from the inside. Can I have everybody go ahead and make me a wisdom saving throw? And I'm going to give Luca advantage due to your words, Virgil. God damn! Luca, the guy. That's another 19. I mean, it's -2, so it's a 17, but that's it's more than enough. He passes.
He's got it.
It's okay. I'm also rolling like myself tonight, and that's another crit fails for 4.
Crit fail for 4.
It's
I
a
also
10.
crit failed, but I turned it into a 19.
Why?
19.
Jesus. 10 for Alder, yeah.
10. All right, give me 1 second. Can I have Virgil and Alder both roll me a D100?
A new fear unlocked, boys. Let's see what we get. That is a 31.
31.
83.
No, sorry. I'm sorry. 13.
13. Okay.
Misread that. 13. Yes.
And an 81.
83.
83. 83. Okay, gotcha. 83. Alder, you feel that pulling reach attention points. And your whole body becomes paralyzed, as if two things are pulling that you can't even move. Every muscle in your body grows tight. And I would say that Virgil would then walk into you. If it wasn't for Virgil becoming stunned, the ravens around you all take flight all at once. And you feel yourself flinch internally. In your mind's eye, you are running, Virgil. Jove, you make it probably about 10 or 15 feet further down the path before you turn around and see both of your companions. One, as if his entire body is being electrocuted. You see Alder sweating, his face turning red. You can see more red than it usually is, I should say. You could see almost the veins in his body beginning to pull. He looks like he is going to tear himself apart from the inside, while you see Virgil, entire eyes go slack. Oh, the tension in his body goes loose, and he begins to sway as if he is about to fall. Jove, what do you do in this moment? As your party members are struck with a wave of madness in the deep Glumpen swamp.
Jove will go over to brace Virgil, and he'll kind of say, as he's going up to him, and say, "Come on, Virgil, you gotta snap out of this." And then he'll do an open hand smack to his face to try and like jolt him out of it, while also making sure he like just doesn't fall. So even if he just has to grab a handful of, well, I guess I was gonna say handful of fur, but I guess you're wearing armor. But getting his hands on whatever he can, and he'll even do a little jump to smack him in the face.
Yeah, go ahead and go ahead and make an attack roll, unarmed strike, using your strength. You do so since he is stunned with advantage, indeed.
So I guess am I proficient in unarmed strikes, or is it just the strength mod?
Are you
I
proficient
rolled
in
a
unarmed strike?
19.
That's
I would assume that the wolf subclass would give you something to unarmed, right?
19.
Yeah, but I think that's technically like in my wolf form.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Let me do some research real quick. Arm strikes 5e. Chapter 9. Instead of using a weapon to make melee attacks, you can use an unarmed strike, punch, kick, head, or some force of blood. As weapons on a hit, the arm strike dispatching angle equal to 1 plus your strength modifier. Everyone is proficient with unarmed strikes.
Hell yeah. Okay. So then that
According
will
to
be-
Chapter 9 of Combat and the Basic Rules.
I guess that makes sense. If you're gonna become an adventurer, you should probably know how to like at least bar fight.
You gotta
punch,
throw a
yeah.
fist. Yeah.
That's a 22 to hit.
That, I believe, will hit. Go ahead. That is 1 plus your strength.
So that is 4. Ludjo
Pah!
smacks him right in the face.
Virgil, like being awoken from a nightmare. And then the hot kind of feel of well, definitely not the largest hand that has ever slapped you in the face. It's a fucking dense hand. So, oh. The nightmare of this kind of horrifying moments washes over you, the pain grounding you once more, and as Job, Virgil almost begins to teeter over, a second strong pair of hands as Luca assists you, and Virgil, you're able to shake yourself out of it.
Okay. Then immediately once I gain my bearings, I will cast protection from evil and good on myself.
Heard. Give me some flavor, since you so rarely get to cast spells.
Yeah, it's kind of like just a light shimmering coat all over my body of just like an uh, amber shimmer, and anything that like comes to make contact with me kind of like sets off a little burst of light, of that amber light, as it tries to pass through the barrier.
Gotcha. With Virgil back to his senses, we still have Alder. Alder, whilst Jove goes to break Virgil from his stupor, can I have you give me a Constitution saving throw?
That is a 12.
A 12. A 12 will do. You can feel this kind of exhaustion. Oh, that's a little jazzy than I would have liked.
Yeah,
I was like, damn.
Like,
Where am
Oh,
This is a great horde.
Oh, wow, man, this horse is really taking a turn. We're reaching our jazz coffee.
Together. I think of smooth jazz.
Fuck smooth jazz. But yes, Alder, you're able to at least breathe your way through this paralysis. You can feel kind of like almost someone having a seizure, the exhaustion that weighs over you through it. You can feel your body stressing over this sensation, this madness that has washed over you. But with a 12 meets beats, you do not take a level of exhaustion.
I imagine I am still paralyzed.
You are indeed still paralyzed.
Yeah, he is as stiff looking as possible, eyes wide.
I guess Jove would go over
I'm gonna
and
pick him up.
do it.
Give me
Pick him up and sling him over my shoulder.
an athletics check.
Surely this time I don't roll another one. No, I rolled a 2. That's much more obvious. So that's 8.
8. Yeah, you
I don't even think I've reached 20 on my D20 rolls yet tonight. Like added together, I don't think I've reached 20.
you go to pick up Alder, and his body is so rigid, and quite frankly, he is hot to the touch. It's like his whole body is going into overdrive right now, to the point where you have to let go. He is starting to get that hot. Alder, as Virgil lets go, I would make you make a dexterity saving throw, but you fail automatically, as you are dunked into the bog. And take 3 points of piercing damage as bits of thorns and deep bog muck pierce into you. However, as the wet and the pain wash over your whole body, your paralysis is broken. However, you are now drenched, and even, I would say, especially with the heat of your body at this point, Alder almost gets out steaming as his whole body was fighting itself at full capacity. You feel your heart rate was skyrocketing, almost to the point where you thought your heart might just explode.
He
Sorry
takes.
about that, buddy. I'm not used to people being literally fire to the touch.
You haven't had much reason to grab me before. I was a little tense, so. It's almost refreshing, if not kind of painful. And his hand almost like takes the glow of an iron as he presses over his clothes, or what looks like his clothes, with his prestidigitation as he's trying to clean out, um, really clean up the armor, or the leather armor. I don't know if that would match the appearance that is being created too. Because I realize that like it is kind of an illusion on the armor, so I'm not sure how much that is like affected by this.
I mean, prestidigitation would work to dry it off regardless of what his appearance looks like. So,
Hmm.
you using your hand to basically create your own, like, dryer, hand dryer, so to speak, works just fine.
Yeah.
Hey, while you're at it, I just put some of your protection on myself, and if you have the spell slot to spare, I think that this would be a wise time to do so to yourself as well.
Probably not a terrible idea. Normally I'd put on my armor, but I already got that now, so that's nice. And yeah, he will follow suit. He will also cast Protection of Good and Evil
Give me some
on
flavor.
himself. Um, I mean, it's it's less of like the full glow where like you can almost see the skeleton, but it's just like it's like a pulsating kind of radiation basically. Like there's kind of just a natural glow now of an amber color to the skin, and it's just like it's almost like it's like a living kind of breathing light. Like it's kind of glowing in and out, kind of shining off of him.
Excellent. As you cast this magic, half the party has this kind of amber glow to them. Jove, can I get that survival with advantage one more time?
Yeah, now we just have to rely on Jove keeping his halfling luck.
Oh yeah, it keeps coming. That's gonna be a 22.
Got 22. You continue into the Glumpen Swamp, following the signs and the footprints, until the smells begin to change, Jove. No longer is it just the rosemary smell, but you smell two unique smells. On top of the rosemary, the rots, and your just foul bog smells to begin with. Two new smells come into play. One that you recognize immediately. It is a heavy, musky smell intertwined with bits of blood and sweat. You smell orcs. And then something else, something odd. It's a strange mix of smells. You've never quite encountered anything like it before. It kind of smells like unwashed human, but there's a lack of sweat. You could smell the oils and the parts of it, but it's lacking. It smells almost reptilian, like perhaps frogs or. It's odd, Jove. You've had your heightened senses for a while, but nothing quite like this. It's like a blend of things. And as these smells hit your nose, can I have everybody roll me a perception check on sight?
Passive 13.
That's a 13. Alder, Virgil, can I also get those perception checks from you?
Sorry, I was muted. I did get my best roll of the night, but it does put me at my passive of 14.
14, okay.
That is a 13 from Alder.
13, 13, 14. Luckily, the DC was indeed 13. So, good on you. Standing upon a rise in the swamped earth, you see a series of circular stone wells surrounded by a deep trench filled with rubble. 4 smaller stone wells, they're oriented towards the north, the east, the west, and the south, surround a larger funnel-shaped well that leads below the surface of the ground. Thick vines and yellow-green moss cover some of the smaller wells, while others lay open, exposed to the skies above. A short set of stone steps leads up the outer rim of the larger well in the center of the area. Surrounding the eastern pit, you see a flicker of torches set into the ground around 3 large tents. One looks quite majestic, decorated in gold on violet cloth, while the other 2 appear to be rough canvas. And about 100 feet out from this strange sight, you all see 3 sentries, clearly orcs, patrolling out into the surrounding swamp. Could I have everybody either make me a history or a religion check?
And history.
What was the check for history? Cut out a bit.
10.
10.
13 history.
13.
We'll go, that's a 21 religion.
21 religion. Virgil, Jove, you're not sure exactly what you're looking at here. A bunch of wells in a place that it's surrounded by boggy marshes seems kind of weird. For you, Alder, from your studies, this reveals that these stone circles are open-air burial wells upon which the dead are placed, which allows the carrion birds and scavenging beasts to consume the bodies and the bones that slowly fill this type of pits. It's not something that you see very often especially back from you're from. But there is one notable group from the Forgotten Realms that does typically have this sort of open-air burials. A brutal civilization. An old civilization. Typically, it is only Yuan Ti that have such things.
Well, just by looking at this one, fellas, this is a burial site. Not the kind you typically see around the Moonseed, though. You can tell by the open air. And essentially, remains are meant to be gathered here. Probably grabbed by vultures, birds, anything of the like. Only thing I could even think of, from where we're back from, that had something like this was the Yuan Ti civilization. Again, don't know much around here with Barovia, but we know some things bleed through. Either way, though, this is definitely would be considered a sacred burial site for whoever made this.
Wonder if it's connected to that statue. Does hold some sort of religious importance.
Alder, go ahead, as Jove makes that point, give me either religion or insight. Choice is yours.
We will go with religion.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, that is a crit fail.
Crit fail. Nah, couldn't be that.
Nah, I just don't know.
But how about I help you guys out with a little bit of a visual here, shall we?
Yeah.
Hey, chat, come here.
The
Indeed.
pits of blood and bone.
Right?
It's a nice
Sounds like a nice place.
Yeah. To kind of show, there is the 3 tents here, with the largest one being the one in gold and violet. These 4 wells, some covered in rubble. One clearly seems to be excavated, the one that's by the tents. And then the stone steps leading down is this central area in the middle. I would say that you guys are approaching from the south on this one, so it's kind of flipped upside down if you look on the map. Each square on this one is 10 feet. So this whole bad boy is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, 170, 180, 190, 200, 210, 220, 220. It is 250 feet across. So this is a huge area. Each one of these wells is 20, if not almost 30 feet across. And you can see kind of patrolling, we'll say off towards, if the bottom part of the map is north, that would make the left side over here by the tents where these guys are patrolling the east. So you see 3 orcs in kind of patrol. They are heading towards the north. They seem to be just circling the area slowly. You're not sure if they'll make it all the way around and towards where you guys are at, but you can see them on the east side heading towards the north with their kind of torches, a group of 3.
And to be clear, that the tracks are leading into this campsite.
Indeed. You can see, I'll say, you guys' perception, Jove, especially since you've been following her, and she's been assisting, leading this in her ghostly form, that you can see Sari's ghostly form appear to take steps down to that central area. Her bloody footprints leading a path for you to follow.
It looks like our quarry's down in that camp. Looks well guarded, though. So, guess we gotta be smart about this. Looks like there's some sort of patrol going through.
And as you guys watch this patrol go by and get a better look on this area from where you're posted up at, you can see that the rubble within the large trench surrounding this compound are not rubble at all, but thousands of bones. You'd have to guess that over the years there must be at least 10,000 or so corpses. This place is littered with old bones that have been twisted and scavenged by either the weather or that which lurks out in the bog. The place is surrounded on many sides by long, hanging, twisted trees, allowing you all ample cover to stalk this area with ease. You are not stuck out in the open. However, could everyone make me a medicine check while looking at this rubble?
Ha 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 ha. 19.
Nice.
Look at you.
Wow. Good, because I got a 5. Thank you.
I got a 16.
Jove and Virgil, you recognize that these bones are varied. You see bones that could belong to dwarves, to humans, to elves, to orcs, to stranger, twisted, seemingly partially snake-like individuals, animal bones, and large troll bones that have been twisted the trench here, the bones that have littered this place, kind of around this outside area, it's almost like a moat. It's at least 5 feet deep with all of these different races. A equal opportunity to be thrown into these pits of blood and bone appears to have been the desired effect. Just outside of your hearing range, you can hear snippets of conversation in Orcish that rise from the camp. Not able to pick anything out specifically from where you guys are at, but you can tell that there are likely more individuals in these tents than just the sentry heading towards the north.
Well, Alder, I know you were saying you wanted to light something on fire.
Fire, fire, fire.
You want me to light the whole camp on fire? Because I can do that.
Maybe at least the tents. It could be a good place to aim. That way, we can at least flush them out and know what we're dealing with.
Is there anywhere that has like a little bit of like a height advantage kind of thing? Where he can get like a good view?
I would say that there is plenty of trees that could be climbed here to give you the vantage point. You're at about. You already kind of look down into this since this is a pit and it has been dug into. But if you wanted to get like a more aerial view of this to give you the best sight, it is absolutely possible for you to climb up a tree and get there. The hardest part for you, Alder, would likely be the physical act of climbing these trees.
Of actually climbing it, yeah.
Yes, but there are plenty. You are deep within the swamp at this point. The trees here are massive and overgrown in places. Deep swamp, deep bog at this point. You guys, I'd say, especially with your keen mind now, Alder, that you're thinking that you've been traveling. I mean, you started into it probably around 1 or so it's been a number of hours now, so you're thinking it's probably 5, 6. You are about 6 hours deep into the swamp.
Yeesh. Yeah, he just wants to get a good visage here because he's thinking for this coming encounter, he would like to likely start here with a fireball, given that his friends are encouraging him, and then kind of post up there to snipe, essentially, and be range support. Is the idea. So, if you think a tree would give him the best vantage, he'll try and make the climb.
Yeah, go ahead and give me an athletics check.
Jove
we're
kind of
gonna
like
organize-
gave him.
Go.
I was just gonna
Toss
say,
me.
give him like.
Yep.
Even just like a supported, so he can get that like first step up, like fingers interlaced, kind of braced on his knee to kind of help, vault him up.
Yes, and Virgil, what were you gonna do?
Two things. One, I'm gonna tell Luca to go a little deeper into the bog, find some solid ground, and tuck behind a tree, maybe. And then the other thing is, if we're organizing to get an ambush, I just want to ready myself to charge in, and cast haste on myself. Right as he casts fireball.
Okay, heard. So, Alder, go ahead and make an athletics check with advantage, since Jove is assisting you, to get up into these trees.
Okay. Athletics with advantage. That's a 12.
A 12.
Checking if I have any boost to athletics, like there'd be any.
Yeah. More like hoping you don't have a minus.
Literally, yeah.
Jove, make a dexterity saving throw.
No!
That is going to be for a 19.
A 19. You are able to move out of the way as Alder's foot slips as he gets only probably about 5 or so feet up. Would have absolutely cracked you right in the jaw. But Alder, you slide back down. A 12 is not going to do.
Jeez.
The topography, these are not like fun climbing trees that, like kids would want to play on. These are massive, partially rotted, covered in moss and grime and muck and other strangely exotic and not all that friendly things. So it is not an easy climb on these.
I imagine like the dark and gloomy trees from like Scooby Doo.
Yes. Yes. Good reference. But you may attempt again, Alder.
Want to give that another shot there, fella?
Yeah, we'll see. It's not as easy as it looks. I'll try. That's only a 10.
Alder, this time, when you fall, there is a very audible and I'll say with my passive 14 perception, I believe passive 13 perception, you begin to hear stirring within the camp.
Alright, let's not waste any more time on that. I'm just gonna cast a fireball. You boys be ready. Sorry about
And
that.
you see Virgil already kind of like hunched behind like a rock, already ready to charge in. He just nods at you.
So, before we do this opening volley, because you guys will get the surprise round, since you're moving, why don't we have all three of you guys roll initiative? I'll roll for Luca. Okay, that's solid. Good on you, Luca. And let's roll for his... Damn, I need to play as Luca more often. I get better rolls out of him than anybody else. That's a flat 17 for his stealth to slink back into the woods and hide in his own tree. Ooh. Does Luca have the strength to make it up that tree? Yeah, he does.
Hell yeah!
Yeah.
Got a good hiding spot.
Yeah, Luca gets up into a tree and Alder, you're not trying to take it offensively how easy he makes it. He's not doing it to one up you by any means.
Also, you get it.
You get it. But boy, does he make it seem way too easy. Like, you've just struggled, like, almost gave your position away, and he just straight up, like, all upper torso, no legs, just, Like, it's Rolo. You could just barely hear the small audible crunch of a raw potato. All right, so let me get this initiatives. 15 seconds. Okay. That's gonna be a lot. All right. Give me a moment, if everyone doesn't mind. Virgil, what's your dexterity? No, your dexterity is 16. I know that. I already know that. That's on me. Remember better, buddy. You got it.
I am vampire.
Let's see that. Okay.
And the
The
only
16
stat that didn't get raised to a 16 was already at a 16.
So go.
Nasty. Of my physicals, of course.
Then, all right, Jove. I see you. Okie dokie. So, since you guys have the element of surprise on your side, um, where do you want to strike this way to set kind of the scene up? You guys could be anywhere outside the circle to start, however you would like, since you guys are doing the opening volley. The outer ring there is about 10 feet and is 5 feet covered in bone, so it is difficult terrain to make it through the outside circle. Then once you head on in, like I said, every square is 10 feet, so just remember that this is a much larger area than most of our other maps, with the largest tent on the left side of the map being the one that is in purple and gold. The two smaller ones are just kind of rough canvas, and a center of steps in the center leading down. Each one of the four kind of pits, if you chose to, you could absolutely hop into. They are big enough for anybody to jump into if you would choose to. So where do you guys want to strike from? I'll say that the sentries from those orcs from you're talking are at the most northern part of the circle, so completely opposite from where you guys are at. And we'll say that they are the only reason you know they're there is you can see the flickering of their torchlights far on the other side. They've got to be, yeah, they're the better part of almost 250, 300 feet away from you. So I will leave it to you, party. How do you want to quote some Letterkenny? How you want to fuck this pig?
Allegedly.
Allegedly. No, it's the ostrich, allegedly.
Yeah.
Did you hear that, Boots and the ginger?
Wait, so the orcs are 250 to 300 feet away, you said?
The sentry of orcs, yes.
There's other orcs inside the camp that are making some hustle bustle.
Yes, certainly with that
Can I
fall
see
there.
really where they are, though? Or...
We can see their torches. Not the people inside the camp, though.
Yeah, you haven't seen anybody leave the tents. You certainly can hear them, and they have started to rouse from your falling down said tree, Alder, but right now you don't see anyone actively in said camp.
Okay, he will just start then with the fireball at the tents then. If
Good.
that's where he's hearing it coming from, he will aim it at those, I imagine those two tents there.
You got it, so... there are 3 tents, large purple one, and the 2 made out of rough canvas. Since each one's 10, it's a radius of 20. You could hit both of those tents partially and light them on fire of the rough canvas, or you can hit the purple tents. Unfortunately, because of the size, you won't be able to hit all 3, obviously.
Yeah. I think we'll do the partial and get the 2 tents.
Partial? All
We're just
right.
gonna be coming in from the top of the map, then.
That's kind of what I'm thinking too.
Yeah.
Indeed. An older fireball's got a 120-foot range.
150.
150. Oh, then you're good. You're good. If it was 120, you might need to move. But yes, party's coming from the north with, I will assume, Virgil and Jove, you guys about to lead the charge with casting haste, Virgil, as soon as Alder releases fireball, correct?
Yeah. Is using the ring in action, or is it whatever the casting time of the spell is? 'Cause it's haste
I think
bonus.
it's the spell. That
It
you're
is
using as
indeed.
an action.
If the spell costs an action and it's in the ring, it'll cost you an action to use. So if it's a bonus action, it's a bonus action.
The ring is basically your spell book and spell slots. It's
That
not
makes
the action, it's the actual spell you choose.
Yeah. Oh, haste is one action. Anyways. Okay. Thought it was bonus action for some reason.
As it, yes, haste needs more power. We'll make it a bonus action to cast.
So yeah, that'll be my action, and then I'll start running in.
Yeah, let's change up. Running, dude, I'm running.
So that gives me 60 feet of movement. So the bones are 20 to get through, right?
Indeed.
Yeah. So I'll probably. What is the circle on the top of the map? Squiggly line circle.
Squiggly line.
I think that's one of the open burial.
Yes, the
pits.
squiggly ones are the actual pits. There is one, the one that's by the tent seems to have some objects built around it, almost look like it is actually being used as a well to pull something up. You're not sure, but you can see that they are doing something to this one that's by the tents. It is. You're not sure what they're doing with it, but the other 3 pits don't seem to be currently being worked on, whatever it is they're doing.
Then yeah, I'll probably get to like just the left of that top burial pit.
You got it.
Yeah, because we're coming up from the 12 o'clock.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay, it's confusing that they put north as the
north as bottom.
the
Yeah.
bottom of the
Yeah.
map. Like, come on.
Yeah.
That's why I'm giving directions as top or bottom.
Yeah, if we go top, bottom, left, and right from where we're looking at it, that's probably just going to be easier.
Or clock signatures like Joe.
That'll work. Yeah, clock will work.
Clock definitely works.
All right, then we'll refer to it. We'll do it clockwise. So, yes, there is these.
I'm at 11:55.
You're at 11:55. All right, Jove, where are you at?
Jove will use his action to dash, giving him 70 feet. So I think that just means I'll be like 10 feet ahead of where Virgil is. Right?
Virgil would be moving much faster than you if he has haste, because his
Nice.
movement speed is doubled.
But I'm
But he's
dashing.
dashing. Yeah.
He's dashing.
action.
though.
Okay. So Virgil, you're not using one of your free actions to dash?
No,
Okay.
I don't think so.
Heard. So Jove. So you guys are at 11:55 with Jove about 10 feet in front of you, Virgil. Correct.
Yeah, I kind of wanna. I don't wanna like run in and then just have them all on me all at once.
Yeah, you got it.
I will hold my attack action with a crossbow in hand to
20,
shoot
30.
somebody who comes out.
Excellent. Gotcha. So from the large purple tent, you guys are about 50 feet away if you go diagonally. From the 2 smaller tents, you guys are going to be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 feet away from the closer one, and about, so what's that, 10, 20, about 130 feet away from the farthest one, from where you guys are posted up. So there's some distance there, but not crazy far away. Alder, you launch your fireball at the 2 smaller tents. Go ahead and start rolling your damage as the 2 tents immediately go up in flames. And then
That's
I need to.
fly from vampire.
Heard.
I always forget that's part of it. Regeneration. That's so
I have
fucking
to
good.
remind myself.
That's 33.
33 fire. Okay, so between the 2 small, I need to make some. 33, you say?
33 fire damage. Full, yes.
All right. Hold on here. Hold on there, bud.
I did not roll lower than a 3 on anything.
No, I'm certainly.
Yeah.
You know, time's a flat circle, dude. Because I feel like I have been in this spot before. So, as
Perhaps with the same character.
with the
even?
same character in almost the same exact circumstances. And, like, I knew it when we were coming to this one. I'm like, I swear to God, if all of my orcs get hit with the fireball straight out the gate, like, I'm not going to be mad. Because I should see it coming from a bajillion miles away.
Well,
But
no,
it's still
it's only 150 feet.
Still sucks. Every
Hey,
time.
reparations
100
for Malrivian Shadowspire.
I mean, yeah, fair enough.
100
Fair enough.
150 feet, completely open area. I have, like, I'm sorry. This is the time, the glorious time to use it. I'm
His
sorry.
teammates aren't in there yet.
Yes, they told me to
It's-
do it even.
It's almost begging for a fireball, but unfortunately
Yes.
it is inanimate, so it's not literally doing it.
Yeah, so, both. There were 5 other orcs in both of these tents. Their whole tent is on fire, and even if there's no point in rolling because you did more than their entire health, even if I half that. And they are, unfortunately, they don't have like evasion or anything nice like that. So, Alder, give me some flavor on how you torch these first 5 orcs and burn down their tents in this opening volley. How does a unmitigated, full-powered wizardly warlock fireball in Barovia, how do you extinguish the flames of their life?
It's again, he's radiating with that amber light right now, kind of like almost like a flashlight coming from inside the skin with the protection of good evil. And it's like he just kind of puts out a hand, and some of that light, like a bit of it, almost pools into like kind of like a gem or like a bead, as he like pinpoint throws it like a dart, sailing that full 150 feet or so right in between those two tents. And just with a little shine of light, an incredible amber flame just gouges out as if a geyser, completely encapsulating that and almost giving like the visage of the fucking evening glory as he does that, as just almost like manifesting them and like all of their energy and fire into this condensed area, just consuming it in that moment as it burst out.
With a
The world's most violent popcorn, like a kernel just exploding kind.
and with a mashing, thunderous, almost scream, like a woman's full fury, she tears through these tents. The sound causes what few birds are around here. You can actually hear birds flying away from this. The swamp almost seems to pulsate with the energy released here. You can now hear the sounds of screams. A few of these orcs tumble their way out of the tents before falling flat in a number of places, their bodies completely engulfed in flames, consumed almost immediately, and you can see that their skin begins to slough, burn away, turn black until only blackened bones remain. Each one with almost like an outstretched hand that processes fast, taking only a matter of seconds. This fire is so different, Alder. It doesn't take as long to burn and leaving the bones behind. An interesting development. However, as this fireball... Go there.
I was gonna say, I was like, this is giving me almost like Point Blank, next to like atomic bomb kind of going off vibes. Like just the intense heat and flash there is just blackening and just evaporating things almost.
Yeah, I'll say, Virgil, the very light that comes from this hurts your skin. For the first time, you are exposed to such bright light that you feel it's like your body immediately becomes completely sunburned across. Not enough to do damage, but Jove, you see this and it's just bright light and explosion. You've seen, you've seen people use this kind of magic. You've been on the wrong side of a fireball in your life. But Virgil, I'll say this was uniquely painful for you. However, let's go back to your guys' turn, because that's just the surprise round. That's just the opening volley.
That's just The first fireball.
Yes, as the explosions followed by the screams followed by yelling in Orcish and does anybody here, by chance, if you wouldn't mind letting me know,
I do.
speak Abyssal or Draconic?
Abyssal? Oh, I might? Hold on. No, wait, I don't think I do, actually. I don't think you do. I think it's primordial for Genasi.
Yes, it is primordial for
I
Genasi.
misremembered. Yes, so I would not.
Okay, a strange ripples out from the large purple tent. This hissing, strange, guttural sound as things begin to move. However, at the top, well, you killed all those guys. So the orcs that you lit on fire would have gone first. But they're dead now. So,
That feel when you die.
that lack of feeling because you're dead. So now we go to the top with Virgil.
Hey, I'll turn to Jove and be like, well, I guess that means that hissing's for us. And, let's see, what's the distance there? 20, 40, 60. With regular movement, I still can't get to it. I will... use my action to dash and just get to the entrance of the big purple tent. Where's the entrance? Pointed.
I would say that the entrance is pointed towards that well. And as you are running this way, you also see that there's a 10-foot pole that has been placed into the ground right next to this purple tent, and impaled on it is a dead orc.
Alrighty then. Yeah, I will use my action to dash and just get right up next to the entrance of that tent.
You do. And as you get to the entrance and see that the tent kind of flaps are open, what you see inside, you see that in this tent, there are beautiful, well-made rugs in here. There are designs stitched into the very tent, showing strange snake-like creatures. And one large, dark snake that almost circles the entire top of the tent, woven in with black and purple threads. You can see a number of exploration equipment, spades, shovels, winches, hammers, chisels, and crowbars are kind of strung about this area. You see inside the tent is a large-looking chest that seems resplendent yet ancient all at the same time. But of course, what really catches your eyes are the 3 strange snake-like humanoids. You see one of them has the body of a lithe and muscular man, but the head of a snake on top of it. They all appear armed with both melee and ranged weapons. You also see 2 other of these snake-like creatures, which you would assume are these Yuan-Ti that perhaps Alder was speaking of. These 2, their torsos and their face, their arms are that of a man. However, their legs, their bottom halves is like a trunk of a large serpent. All of them possess these yellow/green eyes with reptilian slits. And when they blink, they do that weird reptile thing where it closes from the sides. And the 3 of them are all reaching for their weapons and preparing to leave when you place yourself at the front of the entrance in that same awful Musar. They speak to each other in this awful cloying language as they raise their weapons to you. Anything for you, Virgil, now that you're at the entrance?
Seeing that, he will hold his action to, because he used one action to dash, and then he has an extra action from haste.
Uh-huh.
That to attack any living thing that leaves this tent.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then while I'm here, and I have a bonus action to spare,
Yes.
second wind. Wow. I'm max.
Back to Max. Alright. First is the snake-headed individual. Sees you there, doing a thing.
Oh, I'm not like in the doorway. I'm just getting like to it. I mean, I guess I would have poked my head in to see all that stuff. So.
Yeah, and it's not like they weren't going to come out of the tent and investigate the large explosion and fire that just lit up those two other tents. So yes, the snake-headed one will use their movement to leave the tent. How much movement do these bad boys have? Impressive. All right. That is more than enough. Breaches outside the tent to see the burning wreckage of these other canvas tents. Seeing the now blackened bones of these former orcs strewn about, those that are still partially burning. Before...
Phoenix, right, Ace Attorney. Objection. I'm going to attack him.
Yeah, go for it. As he exits the tent, seeing this carnage, not prepared for a young minotaur. Is there AC?
Keeping up my streak of hot rolls. It's a total of 12 to hit.
12 to hit. Meets beats.
Hey, all right.
Yes, it's a lovely combination for you, my friends. Not only are they not wearing any armor, they all have weapons. Particularly, they have scimitars and longbows on them.
This one's about to lose his melee weapon. I think
Let's...
they have to be wielding it, but I'm assuming he's wielding his.
Yes, the scimitars are out. They're not going out just to check on it. They know that a fight must be here.
Okay,
So
I will roll that superiority die, but he does get to save against it, and it is a strength save. Yeah,
strength save. Okay. I'm alright at those. Strength save. Well, not if we roll a natural 5. So 5 that one. That is going to be. It only turns out to an 8.
Yeah, so 11 silver piercing, and he is disarmed.
11 and disarmed. You got it as you knock the scimitar out of his hands. Where's my type 1? 11 damage. Yes, you strike the hand. The hand drops the scimitar with a guttural hiss. Well, you've taken that away. So it is going to try to attempt to make a bite attack on you, Virgil. Since it's got this big old snake head. Hiya. That's a natural 2. That's not going to do.
No. Especially with my AC of 21 right now.
Yeah, that's simply not going to do. So disarmed on that one. It is going to use the second attack, and instead, seeing that it is now disarmed, and in this form, it's not doing enough. This individual is going to shape change into a it says medium size, so into a 6 foot long man-sized snake, as like a infection spreads from the neck downwards as the arms get pushed to the sides and the body twists into a full serpentine form. Now, was probably a bit shorter, by a bit, I mean, significantly shorter than you in its humanoid form. It goes 6, almost 7 feet tall, and as it curls and rises as it puts ahead, its eyes can now lock with yours, Virgil, and they're the same yellow eyes of a serpent. But that's going to be its turn as it goes into its snake form. Now we go over to Jove.
Okay. I guess seeing that Virgil is up there in the mix, Jove will have to use his action to dash again to get next to him.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just need to read rage really quick. I don't remember if I just like rage in preparation, if I just immediately lose it, or if it's like through the whole turn. Let's see here. Your turn ends and you haven't attacked or taken damage. So yeah, so I can't do that. So he will be up there in his normal form, with his spear and whip out.
Absolutely. That drops it to the other 2 snake individuals who have even more movement speed. Yeah, they certainly have enough to. The 2 other, the bottom half snake, Yuan T, will move with exceptionally faster movement speed. They are far quicker with their serpentine lower halves than their other companion, as they whip out through the tent and see both Virgil and Jove. Each one of you.
Is the entranceway to the tent?
I'd say at least 10 or so feet, and if they can't move it, it is just a tent. So it is easy enough to move, push stuff out of the way or cut through it. It's also not particularly thick either. It's not like a heavy, like, tarp or anything like that. It is a fine, beautiful, almost silken. Definitely used more for the show of regalness. But since it goes type man with snake legs to man with snake legs, the first one will come out and about. See you, Virgil, squared up with this giant snake, so he's going to try to make 2 attacks on you. What does he want to use? I have options. These are cool. Okay, first things first. Is going to attempt to make a constrict attack on you as its body twists around yours, Virgil, and attempts to squeeze you for some damage. That's an attack roll for me. Nope, not gonna do. You're able to easily push the snake off your body, or the snake parts of this individual. Having not found the constrict to work, they're gonna try to hit you with the scimitar. No, that's... None of these are anywhere close to 21. So they strike the scimitar against you, and that same amber energy pushes back and doesn't allow it to break the skin. So then the third one will come on out. Not a lot of great room to get on you, so we'll come all the way around and go after you, Jove. And attempt to first constrict, as is their nature.
Point of order before you say the thing of that roll is activating a held action a reaction. I think rule
Mm.
of written it is, but I know in the past there's been questioned. I never remember what we decide on.
Typically, yes, but you have haste on, which seems silly. So, if you're trying to make the sentinel for the reaction, I give it to you.
I'm going to, instead of sentinel, I'm going to do defensive.
Roll with disadvantage, I hear you.
Yes.
Alright, well, that one, 11, so then let's... That one's better, so we'll keep it with the first roll. That 11 plus ultra. That is 16, Jove.
Beats beats.
Beats beats. Alright, can you give me... Ooh. You are currently restrained as it successfully wraps itself around you. You may use one of your attack actions to try to break the grapple on your turn. You are currently restrained. You cannot grapple anyone else. And you take... That's not bad, that's not bad. You take 14 points of bludgeoning damage as it squeezes a much easier target, Jove, since you are of smaller stature. It's able to get around part of your neck and underneath an arm and squeezes, and you can feel your bones aching, stretching, bruising on the point of breaking. As it's going to follow up. It can't bite you, but it certainly can try a scimitar attack. Not with a natural 2, it's not. Alright. Cool. So, Jove, you are currently constricted. That is their turn. Those orcs are dead. It's now Luca's turn, who's going to continue to hide out. Okay. Alder.
Okay. First, Alder will bonus action to cast Hex as that, again, that glowing amber ring circles around the neck of the snake guy that is currently grappling Jove. And he'll take disadvantage on strength ability checks.
Heard.
And then Alder will go ahead and use Eldritch Blast from here. So he should have enough range, I believe.
I believe so.
Yes. So try with both of those. 2 strikes. That's a miss likely with a 9.
9, that will miss.
And then a 21.
A 21 will hit.
21 hits. Roll damage. That is going to be for... That's 4 force damage and 2 necrotic damage.
Damage. And this is the one that was that's grappling Jove, correct?
Yes, correct.
We'll put this here. Gotcha.
And he will maintain his position, so that's all for him.
Sure thing. Then it is the orcs that were on the sentry. As they are going to start using their action and a bonus action to begin dashing and moving 120 feet. Yep, they have the aggressive trait, which allows them to take a bonus action for dash. So if they're here, so I get 5, and then it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that would give them 30, 60, 120. So that takes a 20, so that was 100, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so from Jove and Virgil, since you guys are at the front of the tent, the orc sentries are 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. They're still about 100 feet away from you all. And you see the 3 of them, torches in hands, yelling out, anybody speak Orcish?
No.
Then you're not sure what they're saying, but you're sure it's not great. And the rough tongue, I always think is slightly Germanic, of Orcish. But that's their movement. Takes their whole turn, and we go back to the top. Those guys are dead too. Virgil.
Yeah. I'm just gonna keep hitting the one that I had started hitting.
Yeah, let's see it.
Hey, yeah. God damn it. That's 10.
Not gonna do. Snake moves out of the way, gives you a little shimmy, gives you a little shake.
Oh my god, another 12.
12, well, meets beats.
Ay, ay, ay. Okay, I will use a superiority die to... No, I'm gonna hold my superiority dice. I'm just gonna do my damage. 6 silver piercing.
6 silver piercing. You got it.
And then, with my haste action, I will attempt to bite him.
Let's see.
Yeah. Oh, I roll high on the bite though. Hell yeah. So that's a 19 to hit.
19 will hit.
Let's see the damage on this. Okay. So this is just the piercing damage first. 6 piercing
6 piercing.
and 7 necrotic.
It's a strange flavor to feast upon. A yuan tea, Virgil. It's very much alive. It's fantastic, just different from your usual fare. And you feel that strength surge into you as you watch this snake creature that you have been fighting. Snakes don't really do pale in the natural sense, but you can see it go from being at full fighting force to becoming bloodied. Or, I suppose, less bloody than it was a little bit then because you've consumed part of it. But its strength is starting to falter.
And then I will action surge
Yeah, there it is.
and go at it again with my pick. It's another fucking 10. It's another fucking 12. What?
Oh, play that song one more time. That's a miss and that's a hit.
Alright. Yeah. That was very interesting. I wish my die would roll more than 6 tonight, but it's not gonna happen. That's 5 silver piercing.
You got it.
As Virgil just like, as if mining a rock, just is aiming his pick as if he's mining that spot that he just bit out of him. And then my turn's not done yet. I do want to use my bonus action to use a superiority die to rally Mr. Yov.
Ooh.
Sure.
It's 5 temp HP.
Hell yeah.
And that's my turn.
A wonderful turn. It is now the snake that you just bit and poked a bunch of holes into. It is not liking any of what you're doing. So it is going to attempt to make... Can only use this once. Alright. Here comes the bite. Whoa, get back in the box. There we go. Okay. Ooh, I get more on the bite. If you weren't hasted, this would hit, but a 19 or 19 will not do. Because you're at 21.
Does not hit as he goes to bite in, and that that amber aura that is surrounding his body deflects off like the shields in the Dune movies.
Good,
Yeah.
good reference. Good
Yeah, I
reference.
love that.
Woo. All right, it goes down to Yov.
When you were saying with the restrain on this, were you just like reiterating the typical like breaking grapple rules?
Yep.
Or is this like something's okay? Cool. I just wanted to
Yeah, this is just one of the ones where that when it hits, you become grappled. There's no saving throw against it. You can, do
The way that you word it, I do want to clarify something. You said he can take one of his attack actions. So if he had extra attack, that wouldn't allow him to attack and try and break free, would it?
If you break free of it and if you have the extra attack action, you can forego one of those to break this.
Okay. So it's better than just taking a whole action.
Yeah, so you could. I want to use my the attack action. You get 2 attacks on it. You can forego one of those to try to pull yourself out of this
It's
constrict.
like you can do a shove or
Uh-huh.
yeah. Okay.
Yes, if this was a more classic one, you'd have to wait, but since this is a ability for the Yonti.
Well, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't sleeping on something. Okay,
No,
so
not at all.
Jove does not like the feeling of being constricted, and the
What?
beast within him flares up, and he's actually gonna use 2 rages, and especially as we're getting closer to this full moon, that fight or flight instinct kicks in as he transforms into the 75% wolf form, using his bonus action to do so. And yeah, he'll use his attack action and do just 2 claw attacks on this motherfucker. He's grappled and he doesn't give a shit at this moment. So first attack.
Let's see
I'm
it.
just gonna do these regular.
Regular no. Regular no.
That's just gonna be a 9 for the first attack,
A 9's not gonna hit.
and then a 25 for the second.
Yeah, that one will though.
That will be for 12 magical slashing.
12 magical slashing, indeed.
As he like turns into this form and is kind of thrashing about and really trying to rake the claws against the kind of the soft underbelly of this thing, and only one of them hits between the scales and gets a good grip.
Beast on beast violence. Everybody's a shape changer, a werefolk or something here. And people change up forms. There are monsters everywhere. People get bit. Fireballs being thrown. Killing all my fucking orcs. Alright. Jove? It happens. I should be used to it now.
I don't know what I was expecting.
Yeah, me neither. Alright, is the 2 type 3s coming at you. One's going after Virgil. One's going to keep tussling up with you, Jove. So we'll do the one after Virgil first, since his turn is first.
Jove is disadvantage.
Jove's disadvantage. Heard. For this one. Sweet. Okay, I get to make 2 decks. Yeah, we're gonna see if we can help on this one. It's gonna attempt to constrict you again. And then make a scimitar strike. So first one for constrict. Nope, that's a 17. Not gonna do. Come on, give me the nat 20 for the scimitar. It's not as good as the constrict, but it would be great. No, that's a 7. Alright, either one of those are gonna do. We switch over to Jove. Since you are already constricted, it's gonna make 2 scimitar attacks against you. Disadvantage on first. Well, there's my nat 20, but this is the disadvantage one, so that knocks that down to a 9, which then knocks that down to a 14.
Oh, clutch. Lord have mercy.
God. Damn everything. Is disadvantage for both attacks or just the first one?
Just the first one.
Just the first one? Okay.
Yeah.
My dice are feeling froggy. They're just leaping right out the box. I don't know why you guys are feeling froggy. You can only
Yeah,
roll
like-
good with Luca, apparently. Apparently my dice love Luca. They're like, nah, nothing's gonna happen to that guy. I'm like, I'm trying to, dice.
Yeah, protection says whenever they attack, I can use my reaction. They have disadvantage on the attack roll. So it's not attack rolls that turn. It's just that attack roll.
Okay, so this one's just a regular roll, you say? Sick. Regular roll, regular roll. That is a 16. Joe, does 16 hit? Does that meet beats?
Yes, it does.
Okay, okay. But you are raging,
Better
so
20.
yeah. You're raging, so this goes to half of its slashing damage, which then drops that down to 4 points of damage.
Oh, he raging.
Oh, he raging.
Still have 1 temp HP.
Cool, cool, cool. So happy for you guys. Okay, that's their turn. Let's
It's
look
my
at-
whole build.
Right.
Yeah,
I don't do damage.
you know what's fucking crazy is that Luca has rolled 19 almost every single roll this session. He has rolled 19 more consistently than any character I've ever had. He is basically undetectable up in the tree right now. He is safe as
Bro's
hell.
getting ready to become a champion fighter. He's taking after his boy Virgil.
Yeah, because if he was, holy shit, he'd crit every turn. That's insane. All right. So Luca's feeling high and dry up in the bog trees. Alder, your move.
Okay. Really don't like this guy on Jove, and he needs to be able to get into the action with more people coming. So, we're gonna try and bust out a big spell. We will.
Excuse me.
We're gonna go ahead and cast Scorching Rays. We're gonna take 3 attacks on the one that has constricted Jove still.
Okay. Let's see it. Do you got it?
I got it. That is a 23.
Yeah, that'll do. Young
A
rich
nat 20.
Ah, fuck.
Let's
Go.
fucking go.
And then third hit is a 9. That will not hit.
No, that one. It's unfortunately that's the one that's not gonna do.
Okay, so let's see. So we got 12 fire damage for sure, and then rolling dice. Oh, plus my 2 necrotic. Sorry, almost forgot. Right, that includes the full necrotic on that.
Mm-hmm. You get to roll that one for every single successful hit,
Okay.
and one of them does get the nat 20 bonus.
So, okay, so let's think here. So that is going to be then. So that is 26 fire damage and 14 necrotic.
For a grand total of... Alright, buddy, how do you want to do this? So, keeping in mind that Jove is currently grappled by this thing, give me some flavor. How do you do the Scorching Ray Hex combo while the Amber collar is currently on?
If you will allow me, because with my next move here, I will action of dread. He rings out again, calling upon the evening glory. As he again gets that skeletal glowing effect to himself. As he unleashes out again those the 3 bolts that he usually does, taking again almost that form of like the flaming skulls as they go forward, but originating from him. And as they kind of coalesce together, the visage and the apparition of the evening glory takes effect with it, almost basically launching her forward to this thing. And as it swirls nearby in her gown, I imagine her hand is just like, again, covered in that amber energy, as it grabs the serpent by where it is constricting him and just slices clean through it. It's like a laser, just clean slices where it is holding it through. So he just sends the evening glory forward, and it just takes this thing apart, essentially, dissects it.
Right to that. Jove, you are no longer constricted as your party member. Puts in the killing blows and sex this creature right in front of you. So you have your movement back once more. Anything else from you all there?
No. I will real quick roll to see my temp HP that I get for this. So that is 8. So I have 8 temp HP here.
Heard. All right, let me cross off that one. Let's fight Joe. Done. Done. All right. With that, move down to the orcs. They still have a long ways to go, but they can use their bonus action that one. So they're only 40 feet away. Yeah, these will have to be at disadvantage, but no better time like the present. All right, everyone's getting an attempted javelin on them. It's not going to go well, I don't think. But we got to use what we got, and intelligence isn't their highest stat. So, with disadvantage, first one.
I mean, I get it though. At this point, it's either this or run.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the things that scare them more than you guys. So, first one on Virgil with disadvantage. Unfortunate. One of those is a nat 20. And the other one's a 12, which I know will not do. So there's that. Is Alder within? Because they moved the 60, and that puts you guys at 40 feet away. Oh yeah, Alder, you're within 90 feet of your party. You're within range. I can still plink at you. All right, this one's going after Jove with disadvantage because of the range. Okay, does an 18 hit, Jove?
Sure does.
Okay. Get a little bit going. That would be max damage, but I gotta have it, so that's going to be on the DM, so I round up. It's gonna be 5 points of piercing damage. And then for you, Alder, let's see if this third guy's got the Olympic arm.
Let's see it.
Actually, 19.
Yeah, that hits.
All right. That is going to be 7 points of piercing damage. As, not with the grace and control that Jove shows with his javelins, just the absolute mastery of that weapon that Jove has used many, many times. These guys are just straight hucking these, just throwing them wildly as possible, hoping to get some early damage in. Not enough to press and hit you, Virgil, but with either luck or power, 2 javelins rain down on, one for Alder, one for Jove, and pierce you guys in kind of an upper arm shoulder. With, of course, Alder, you taking a little heavier hit than Jove would, because he's raging. But that is their move. They're 40 feet from where Virgil and Jove are at. And we go back to the top, which, speaking of Virgil, it is your turn once more. You've got the... You still have both of your opponents on you. The bottom half serpent man, and now the head of a serpent who's now transformed into a serpent, Yanti.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna attempt to end the one that I've been swinging at this whole time.
As you do.
Hey, it's a roll above 6. It's a 22 to hit.
Yeah, that'll do.
I'm gonna save my superior dice some more. That's a 6 silver piercing.
6 silver piercing, you got it.
Extra attack.
Let's see it.
Hey, there's that 6 again. That's 12 to hit.
Yeah, that'll do.
7 silver piercing.
Alright. Looking real bloody now.
let's do the haste action. Only one of them is armed currently, right?
Yes.
I will do my haste attack on him. And miss.
Little miss.
Oh no.
And then, Alder, are you in any physical conflict right now?
Like I don't have someone on me, but I am technically within range of the javelin throws because I had one thrown at me, but they are not like on me, you know.
No. Yeah. And you're at, other than that one hit that you took, you're at full.
Oh yeah, I've still got one temp HP because I just popped the form of dread before that attack.
Oh, okay.
So I would rally Joe for yourself. That's what you're trying to do.
I have never seen temp HP be any sort of meaningful until this campaign. I swear to God.
When you don't have a healer, it's like a literal heal, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he has 1 temp HP remaining, but, I mean, I'd rather just protect him from more, and I have the resources to do so, so. Let's give him... Oh, buddy, you get 9 temp HP.
Oh, hell yeah.
Well done,
And I
well
was actually
done.
out of temp HP, so you.
Oh, okay. Oh, right, because you, that was at, like, the beginning of the... Okay. Well, perfect.
Wonderful.
If this was Slay the Spire, we're making a hella shield build right now, you know?
Oh my God. Nar. All right. Virgil, that concludes your turn.
It does action, bonus action. Yeah.
Okay. Let me switch on over to the snake in front of you.
The snake.
Okay. First one. Just gonna make this a bite against you, 'cause that's still
Against
in its,
who?
against Virgil.
Okay.
The one that you've been schmanging on. Wants to give me something here. 22.
Shield.
There it is. Get these out of the way now. All right, so that's its turn. As it nearly pierces through the haste in your own body, but you call forth that extra surge of arcane energy from the ring, and it pushes back the snake's fangs. However, we gotta go in a different direction now. Let me see if this works the way I think it is. Okie dokie. Oh, that was the type 1, huh? Alright, Jove, your move.
Okay, so the one that I was tangled up with got fucking laser beamed.
Yes.
Was there a second one that was near me, or there
Uh,
was just 2 on Virgil?
No, there is 2 on Virgil, but the second one, that's the same body type as the one that constricted you, has been trying to tag team Virgil. So he's within your range. You wouldn't have to move hardly at all to get there. And then one of these Yuan-Ti is in its snake form. So Virgil has one full snake and one torso of a man, legs of a snake on him. And then about 40 feet from where you're at, Jove, that centuries of orcs are speeding your direction as fast as they can.
Gotcha. Well, let's deal with the problem at hand. Yeah, the one that Virgil has been piling on for a while. Is he more? Or am I within 15 feet, or closer than that?
Closer than that.
Gotcha. Then he'll just scamper on over there to the one that's been tagged pretty damn hard, and the whole song and dance. So action. Do the first claw. Just gonna do these regular. That is a catchphrase. Do a 19 plus 6 for a 25.
Yeah.
15 magical slashing.
15 magical. Against, is this against the snake or the man snake?
I guess the one that Virgil has been
Just
attacking a lot.
How do you want to do this?
Oh hell yeah. Yeah, he'll just like come like behind the thing. That comes later.
Gross.
But he will kind of like mount it and from behind.
Come on, buddy.
And just with the wicked claws that are even more pronounced in this form, he just squeezes from the girth of the body of this.
All right.
Bro.
And, yeah, it just sinks the claws like hands through like Play-Doh or moon sand, you know, and yeah, shreds it to ribbons in that manner.
Beautiful.
Just shreds, you say?
Just shreds it,
bro.
Just
Shreds
absolutely
it.
fucking shreds, dude.
Then he'll pop on over to the other remaining one with the second attack action. That unfortunately is only a 9.
That not gonna do.
And then, but he'll use the bonus action. Yeah, he'll bare his fangs as he attempts a bite on this motherfucker.
Let's see it.
That is a 22.
Yeah, that'll hit.
22.
That is going to do. That is 5 magical piercing.
5 magical piercing. You got it.
Which I then get to gain. Positioning myself so Virgil and I are shoulder to shoulder as we're wont to do. Jove will stand and deliver.
All right. Type 3. Can I have? Yeah, I know who this needs to be on. Virgil, will you make me a wisdom saving throw?
19.
Well, never mind then.
Yeah, it's my second lowest save at +3.
Yes, the Yanti that is still standing before you says in this hissing common to inhale the fumes of the well. And there's that almost kind of hypnotic pattern that goes across the eye. Think almost Jungle Book style. But you are able to hold your mental fortitude together. You're not going to get stunned a second time within, like an hour. And that's crazy. As he attempts and fails to cast suggestion on you. It's unfortunate for me. We'll save that one. That does use his whole action, though. I was hoping. Luca, how you doing up in the tree?
19.
Actually, it's his lowest roll of today, with only a 16.
Oh.
I know. Broke the streak. Alder.
It's because he started cheering, and then he had to remember to quiet himself.
Yes, of course. It's oh.
Oh.
Oops.
So, Alder, it is now your move.
Okay. I did not quite catch the orc sentinels. Have they did it now to my companions, or are they still on?
They are still 40 feet away from your
They're at the end
companions.
of the turn.
Yes, they come. Their turn is after yours, Alder. So they will be. They will absolutely have enough movement to make it to your party this next turn.
Gotcha. Okay.
Well,
He is gonna return to sender on the one that threw a javelin at him, and he's gonna Eldritch Blast. So he'll make
See
two
it?
rolls.
Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast.
Bildred
Uh,
Blast.
That's a 25
Yeah.
and a 14.
Yes on both. Wait,
Yes on
hold on.
both.
These are for orcs. Hold on, stats are
Yeah,
different.
these
stats are different.
might have AC.
What was it?
It was
It
14.
was 14? Yep. That beats.
Both hit? Okay.
Yep. They are wearing hide armor, but it's not enough.
Also should mention bonus action moving Hex onto this one here.
Good
as well.
catch.
Yep. So he the ring forms around him. Disadvantage on strength ability checks. And I'll roll damage. Oh. Dropped the dice on my keyboard. That doesn't count.
Well played.
Let's see. Jeez. That's gonna be for dang. That's 17 force and 8 necrotic.
How do you want to do this?
He sends out again just these blasts of light, and it's just evaporating essentially. What is left is just a ghoulish visage of like a malformed evening glory or something, whatever, maybe even what's left of their spirit, but the essentially evaporated and just turns into a wailing mist.
Older's now a master of turning other people into different forms of matter in the most violent way possible. Yeah, that's one of them, leaving only the last two orcs in this last Yuan T. Anything else from you, Alder?
That is all.
Okay, cool.
Sorry, I rolled very high on the
I-
damage. I'm sorry.
Hey, it's okay. It's not like this is the end of this module anyways. So, the two remaining orcs are going to use their bonus action, use their aggressive to move their full movement speed, then use the rest of their remaining movement speed to get to... even if I do that, it's not enough to get to you, Alder, but it is enough to get to Jove and Virgil. They are going to use their great axes, so... one strike going to Virgil, one strike going to Jove. Virgil.
Disadvantage on Jove.
Disadvantage on Jove. All right, heard. Oh, I don't know why I rolled that one. All right, so disadvantage for Jove. We'll put these dice, disadvantage dice that way. This one for Virgil. You know what? I'll give you some extra juice. Come on, Amethyst dice. Give me what I desire.
Garnet, amethyst.
Okay. What did they get out of this one? 23.
That hits.
It wasn't even a crit either, which would have made this nasty. But I do get to roll the big D12.
It's always fun.
That's going to be 13 points of slashing damage. As going at full speed, flying the whole, final 40 feet, bringing the great axe with the entire orc strength behind it. An orc who is almost the same height and same muscular build as you, Virgil, with... roll me history real quick. Virgil, let's see, let's see if you've got
Not
some...
when I roll low though. 7.
7? Alright, so yeah, it's... what they're wearing is regardless. They just struck you with a great axe. That's more important. So we switch over to Jove, and this one's going to be a disadvantage. And these guys only get one hit. One hit! I'm so sick of seeing nat 20s on disadvantage rolls. That's...
That's 3 tonight.
The dice are there only when I have disadvantage, so that drops this one. So instead of being a nat 20 with bonuses, that just makes it a 19.
That hits.
That hits, but you're raging, so let's have this. That's not great on that one. 4 slashing damage. As the orcs have entered the fray, and we go back to the top with Virgil to set the scene. Virgil, you've got one snake man on you, one orc man on you.
I'm gonna heal 5.
As you do, as you do.
And then I'm going to turn to the orc and attempt to smang him.
Let us
That is
see.
a 16 to hit,
That'll hit.
and might as well try it with my last priority die. I do a disarming strike, so he needs to make a strength save.
Straight save.
As he takes 12 silver piercing.
12 silver piercing. That's a failure.
Yeah, so I will kind of like hook his what is he using? Great axe?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll hook his great axe with the back end of the pick and kind of just like pull it towards me and have it pull out of his hands and then just like swing back forward, drive my pick into his chest. And then for my second attack, yeah, I'll do it again. I'll swing him again.
Let's see it.
Oh, you're a number I haven't seen in quite a while. 24.
That'll hit.
6 silver piercing.
How do you want to do this?
Yeah, I take it out of the chest and I just bring it down as I've done so many times with the hammer and with the pick, just straight down into the head. And he just crumples underneath, and I pull it out, and I turn back to the. Or no, there's an orc on Jove, isn't there?
There is indeed. There's one orc and one Yuan-Ti left.
Have we been attacking this Yuan T much?
He's still looking pretty fresh.
Okay.
He
Yeah, I'll
has.
go for the orc.
You got it.
That's a crit fail.
Joe, make dexterity saving throw.
I will. That is a 15 dex save.
15. Yep, that'll do.
Okay. So, with my bonus action, so I didn't hit him, and the only thing I did hit is dead. Can't do anything. So that's my turn.
All right. That leads us to. He's dead. So Jove.
All right. I'm on this Yuan T, and we'll continue the onslaught.
Let's see it.
Action for the first claw attack. Oh, that's a nat 20, my friend.
Here come the claws.
This is gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt a bit.
Claw.
Now here comes the claw. Lives, our mortal lives are gone.
One day, if you beat Baldur's Gate 3, Kyle, you'll really love a lot of that stuff. In the meantime, I love this attack.
It is a 33 magical slashing.
Oh,
Was this on the orc or the Yuan-Ti?
This was Yuan T.
Yuan-Ti. All right. That's a heavy hit. Not enough to kill it all in one shot, but it is went from feeling fresh to the fight to now incredibly bloodied as you rip into the torso, the less scaled part, and you can feel that your claws have punctured into the lungs. There's a ragged breathing that comes out, and you can feel one of those lungs physically deflate underneath your claws.
The ripping and the tearing.
With indeed the ripping and the tearing.
how much dice does Jove roll for a crit again?
So I
When
do
raged?
3d6. So I
Gross.
normally do 2d6, but part of the werewolf is the improved critical. You get the 3d6 when you crit.
So
because
you
we do the
just get a
exploding
free
crits.
18. Ugh. Yeah, that's
Plus I'm
pretty nasty.
raging.
Yeah.
It's gnarly.
I have zero regrets on how I run criticals in this campaign. It's absolutely satisfying on all sides, but boy, does it hurt me a lot.
Boy, howdy.
Just wait until I get
okay,
to level 7. When I can start giving Jove more attacks.
And then if I go, if I went 3 into fighter, became a champion fighter, was
Ugh.
written on 19s. Also, just so we don't lose sight of it, at the Yuan T until the start of my next turn has disadvantage on attack rolls.
Yes, it does. That's correct. Correct
Oh
on all
my
accounts.
god, Dom! I rolled another fucking crit for the second attack.
You're
Don't
joking.
don't even bother. Is it on the Yanti?
It's on the Yuan T.
Yeah. Since I know that there is an automatic 18 plus your, how do you want to do this? Just how do you crit to crits rip through? There's not enough health right now.
Are you telling me Jove has rolled not only 4 nat 20s, but both of them back to backs?
Yeah, actually, that's twice.
Yeah,
tonight I
that's
rolled
crazy.
back-to-back crits.
Crazy.
I don't understand the probability of this group. Our probability is insane.
How?
Oh my god. I don't even know.
And this is why we make Kyle always roll the dice at craps.
Yeah, for real, man. Blow on everyone's dice, please, before they roll.
But yeah, give me this scene of carnage, Jove, as you feel your full bestial passenger take over in this moment. With the full moon only, 5 days away, you releasing 75% of this. Bring, to quote a different character, bring me to the edge of your halfling nature and show me what happens when the beast is in control.
Sure. So that first crit, like you said, dug deep and kind of like cracked the rib cage of this and punctured a lung. And I'm gonna say that with this second one, Jove cracks the other side, kind of like what is it, the blood eagle, right? Where they would crack
From Vikings. Yep.
the rib cage, and he rips open the rib cage, and really beyond, a pure animalistic, like almost like he's getting pleasure out of this. He just starts with the lungs, and almost like a dog that's like putting dirt over its shit or whatever, just starts strewing the gore and guts, starting with the lungs down into the intestines, out of it. And hopefully nobody's behind him while he's doing this, because he is just strewing this creature's innards everywhere and kind of basking in the glory of it as he howls out to the moon, just slick and wet with blood.
It's pretty brutal. Anything else for me, Jove?
Yeah, I still have a bonus action, so I'm gonna.
Of course. There's the one singular orc up.
Yeah, so he'll go over and with the teeth snapping, he will make an attempt to bite this motherfucker.
Let's see it.
Oh, it was a 19. So.
Oh my! I would throw up.
I would have got the turkey. That would've been
You know what? We're at the end of the module, I think, here. That's a 20. Or in 20.
Yeah,
Let's just
right.
do it. Let's just...
So that is a 25, and the bite is middling. That is a 6 magical piercing.
6 magical piercing. Yeah, you. No, he hasn't taken a hit yet. Yeah, you tear into, after decimating this Yuan T in full carnage, you continue to build your momentum in, but a huge chunk out of the shoulder and the neck of this orc is looking very bloodied with that strike, but still has a little bit left in the tank. So, with that, Joe, I believe that's the end of your turn. All my Yuan-Tis are dead. Luca. There's that 19 again.
Jeez.
Apparently Luca took all of my good rolls. Alder.
Okay. Who's left here? We still got
Just that
one
orc.
Yankee.
Nope.
It's just the orc.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
right,
Jove.
because it just got eviscerated.
Yeah.
Correct, he's gonna get the Eldritch Blast. So
See it?
roll. And of course, bonus action move Hex onto him, strength disadvantage.
Yep.
Okay, that is a 13.
13. That'll hit. Meets beats.
And then a 12.
Does not
So
hit.
That won't hit. Does not hit. Okay, just one. Roll damage. That was for then 1 force damage and 3 necrotic.
Blast to avoid hitting Jove as he bites into this orc, as he takes one straight to the gut, and you see it darken black into amber spots. Thank for those who have seen season 2 of Jujutsu, when our boy, where our favorite twin, takes that massive black flash straight to the gut. It's a lot like that. Anything else from you, Alder?
I think that's really it.
That takes it to me with my last orc. So bad. Jove, you're the closest and scariest thing right now, so it's going to try to slash you.
At disadvantage.
Yeah. All right now, I got you at 17. Let's see what the disadvantage does. Oh, that's still 17. 17, Jove.
That hits.
That's all right. Then we got a half that, so round up. Take 7 points of slashing damage, Jove. As he spits out some more words in Orcish. You're not sure if it's an insult or a challenge, but then we goes over to Virgil.
I'm gonna attempt to swing him. Oh, 24.
Oh, yeah. With 24, you say? Yeah, I guess that barely beats.
4 silver piercing.
So, Pearson, how do you want to do this?
Nice. Minimum damage. Yeah, kind of just swings his pick into him and just feels him just die there. He's like, well, I guess that's that, and he just like throws his body on the ground with the pick and kind of like wags it off to try and get all the blood off. Like, that was kind of uneventful, or not uneventful. That was a underwhelming finish, but he's dead now.
And as the last orc's body falls and crumples to the ground, you are left with the pit of blood and bone, now seemingly empty for the time being. The large ornate chest still within the purple tent. The tents made of rough canvas burning, drifting away. You all turn to see, as you survey the scene, the orc impaled on that large pole, the monstrous smell of rot emanating from this well next to you guys. You see the same bloody footprints alight, heading down deeper into the pits of blood and bone. And that is where we will end tonight's session, and return to this very scene next week. Let us say goodnight to Jet.
Good night, chat.
Good night, chat.
Good night, Chat. Thank you so much for being here with us on a later session for us. Get to see me continue to get rocked in my own friggin' campaign. But it's all good. It's all beautiful. We got big things coming up. It's going to be a great time. Super excited. So, as always, much love. Peace in the Middle East. We'll see you next week at our regularly scheduled time. Later, skater.